Good evening. Welcome to the Derry Town Council meeting for Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. Councilor Spencer, pledge allegiance, please. Thank you. For those new here, the emergency exit in the back of the room. In the event of emergency, please take the stairs. If you need help, see Clint. He'll be glad to help you. All right, Councilor Granessi.
Good evening.
Councilor Webb.
Good evening.
Councilor Spencer.
Good evening.
Councilor Chase.
Good evening.
Councilor Mojay.
Good evening.
Councilor McEachern.
Good evening.
And good evening from the chair. Do we have a motion for public forum?
Mr. Chairman, I can make a motion to open the public forum, please.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to open public forum. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public forum is now open. If you wish to speak, come up and do so. State your name and address for the record.
Oh, and is there anybody online?
Mr. Chair, seeing none rise at this time.
And
Online.
seeing nobody jumping to the forefront here, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
All right. We have a motion. Do we have a second? And a second to close public forum. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public forum is now closed. Consent agenda, 25-58. Approved non-public minutes from May 20th, 2025. Those minutes are sealed. Agenda 25-59, approved minutes from May 20th, 2025. And agenda item 25-60, resolution 2025-032, to accept a New Hampshire Highway Safety Grant for various traffic enforcement activities. There'll be a public hearing for that matter on June 17th. Then we have 25-61, resolution 2025-034, to apply for and accept grant funding related to Phase 2 of the Southern New Hampshire Regional Water Interconnection Project. Also a public hearing on June 17th.
Seeing no questions, I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the agenda and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, agenda passes 7-0. Chair's report. I'll say it at the end as well, but this Saturday is the touch truck at West Running Brook. This Saturday, 10 o'clock, right? I think it's 10 a.m. at West Running Brook. Other than that, Councilor Granessi, floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just want to say June is Pride Month, and it was a proclamation signed by the previous council. So I want to thank them for signing this. It was Council Chair Morgan, Katsoukaris, Borden, Spencer, Foote, Weatherby, and Chiricello. Pride Month is very important. I just want to make a statement before I read it. Pride isn't about turning straight kids into queer kids. Pride is about not turning queer kids into dead kids. It's a very moving statement. Someone sent me that today. So the proclamation states, whereas our nation was founded upon the declaration that all people are created equal, that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are among the inalienable rights of every person, and that each person shall be accorded an equal protection of the law. And whereas the town of Derry supports the rights of every citizen to experience equality and freedom from discrimination, and whereas our country has come a long way since the Stonewall Inn riots in 1969, and have continued to raise awareness of the existence of discrimination and have improved laws and attitudes of social and encouraging inclusiveness, society by encouraging inclusiveness, and whereas we celebrate the accomplishments of the LGBTQ community towards securing, important rights and freedoms, often through struggle and adversity, and now therefore we, the Town Council of the Town of Derry, do hereby proclaim June, it's 2021, as LGBTQ Pride Month, and recognize this proclamation by displaying the Pride flag from June 1 to June 30th, 2021. The Pride flag is hung downstairs. I just want to wish everybody a happy Pride. You know, I'm happy to be on the council as an openly gay man, married for 30 years. So I just want, we treat everybody fair and equal, so I just want to say happy Pride, everybody. Enjoy the month. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. That's all I have. Mr. Town Administrator.
Okay, thank you. 3 or 4 different themes. One, finances. We expect that this past May, a few days ago, we've surpassed the amount budgeted for Motor vehicles, that means all our major revenue sources have exceeded our annual estimate with a month to go, so that's good news financially. And now the council has approved the budget. The FY '26 budget has been uploaded. And congratulations to Mike and Mark. They'll be working on the FY '27 budget in 8 short months. On legislation, as you know, legislation, we're sort of rounding third base. There's a bunch of bills which you need to be aware of. Senate Bill 297 would have provided some additional subjective overview of risk pools. As you know, the town of Derry belongs to risk pools, which provides most of our health, all of our workers' comp, and all of our property liability. There were different versions, and so there was a compromise amendment, which we hope all of our state representatives can support. I believe will be on the docket for Thursday. And it's going to essentially move the health risk pools to the insurance department, where they should be, and our property liability and workers' comp will stay with the Secretary of State. So I think it's a good compromise. It's going to provide some more objective measures, so they won't keep moving the goalposts on these risk pools. Second was House Bill 405, which is the illicit massage establishments and human trafficking. That has been enrolled at Legislative Services, and we're not sure that the Secretary of State has delivered it to the Governor's office yet, so hopefully it'll be signed in short order. There were a number of housing bills which were acted upon by the House a few weeks ago, and we're very pleased to see a lot of them did not pass because it would remove your local control. One of them was Senate Bill 174. Out of the entire House, it failed to pass by 7 votes, and we had 9 dairy representatives in attendance that day. 1 voted for and 8 voted against. So really appreciate the impact, or the realization of the impact which would have on dairy and your responsibility setting ordinances locally. Senate Bill 84 was retained. That would have proposed sweeping statewide mandates, and Senator Birdsell opposed that at the Senate, and it was retained in the House. That should not be coming before the House of Representatives again this year. Meals and rooms, if you recall, either 2 or 4 years ago, the state legislature finally settled on a formula to share 30% of revenues with towns and cities. Originally, the law was at 40, and the state never made it past 23%. This past year, the House proposed a freeze in the amount, regardless of the percentage, which means we would receive less than 30%. And I know the Senate has done their work on House Bill 1, which is the budget, and what they want to do is continue to deliver on the state's promise of 30% of sharing with the municipalities. So hopefully that'll pass the Senate, and when it does, hopefully the House will concur on that as well. There was a question at the last meeting about ambulance revenues, and there was discussion regarding, first of all, everybody wants to get rid of balance billing, which essentially, once your insurance company pays, the ambulance service can seek the balance from you folks. So under the compromise is that although the House Commerce Committee wanted the rate cap at 20%, and we think 325%, or 200%, and 325% is more appropriate. The compromise is that it'll be at 325% for the next 2 years. There was a study done last year. People questioned the completeness of that study. So it's going to stay it's going to be capped at 325 for the next biennium. They're going to complete another study to either confirm or clarify the results of that previous research. That's good news for our EMS department. On project goals, we've received goals from most of the councilors. We hope to have a draft goals with the priority list of the council by June 17th, so please get those into us ASAP. Abbott Court, the day after your last council meeting, the planning board did approve the site plan for both the private development and the parking garage. So now we're finalizing the bonding for the garage and also the leasing on the parking space with LMG. The rail trail, Mike continues to work on the rail trail, including the design portion with NHDOT and securing easements and agreements with the private landowners in the area. We received a couple of applications to be signed for the state revolving fund for the Route 28 Ryan Hill Sewer Extension project, so that's moving forward. Mike leads the effort on the disposal, well, actually the construction of the new fire station, and working on the disposal of the current East Broadway Central Station. So we'll be back to you, Mike will be back to you probably in July on that. And just for your note, is that on downtown development, the ZBA has received a application for variance to operate a used car lot on Central Street. And so I've crafted a letter to be delivered to the ZBA tomorrow opposing the granting of that variance. It's in the Central Business District zoning, and there are a number of appropriate uses which are economically viable. A used car lot is not one. And looking at both the private investment and the public investment in Abbott Court by the town council, there are much better uses in that area for used car lots. So that hearing is going to be on Thursday. And it's the time of year, a lot of park and recs events are happening, and Mike will walk you through those.
Thank you, Dave. So one of the great things about the month of June is that we have actually see 80 degrees, and we're moving, I think, to 93 degrees by Thursday, which means that summer activities are upon us. So Parks and Recreation Department have a number of items that I just want to put out there for the community's notification. Obviously, Galleons Beach is a very popular area for our residents, and the beach will be open for a soft opening on June 14th and 15th. That's the weekend only. We don't have enough staff yet because many of them are high school students. The full Monday through Friday and weekend openings will begin on the June 21st. So if anybody has any questions about the dates that will open, please refer to the town's website or contact the Parks and Recreation office. Individuals may also go online and reach out to the Parks and Rec Department for seasonal passes. All that process is explained online as well. One new program that they're excited to offer this year is water safety swim lessons. They'll start June 30th. Again, all the information is on the town website. There'll be 3 two-week sessions, so we're excited to be able to offer that this year. Concerts, there will be our first concert will start a week from today. So for the next 10 weeks starting June 10th, there'll be a variety of entertainment acts, and again, all the groups and bands are listed on the town's website. Those will be kicking off at 7 o'clock on each Tuesday throughout the summer. Splash Pad, that also will be opening up for a soft opening on June 14th and 15th for the weekend, and then daily after that, starting June 21st. Starting June 25th, story time, courtesy of Derry Public Library and Taylor Library, followed by Arts and Crafts by Park and Rec at Donball Park. June 26th, Marion Garish Community Center, partnering with Parks and Rec Department. They're going to be doing their annual Family Fun Night at Donball Park. That's a 5 o'clock start. And other than that, there's miscellaneous activities throughout the summer that, if anybody wanted to attend: flying high, frisbee dog, wildlife encounters, mad scientists, and a number of different things of that nature. So please refer to the town's website or reach out to the Parks and Recreation Department at 603-432-6136. And that's all I have.
Good.
That's all we have. Thank you.
Councilors, any questions, comments for the town administrators? I have a couple quick questions. Someone asked recently, update on the fire station, how on schedule, how's that looking?
So we are moving along quite well. We had our last progress meeting Thursday. The station has, the apparatus bay floor has now been poured, so that's a major milestone. The next steps in the building, all the drywall is up. They're starting to tile the interior. I would estimate that the building is probably between 80 and 85% complete. The target for a handover is probably going to be between August 15th and September 1st. So we're working with, because you got to remember too, once it gets handed over, there's a number of things that have to be put into the building, starting with appliances and furniture and office equipment, and then obviously communications probably being the most important. So as we draw closer to some of those dates of substantial completion, I'll be announcing to the community, and obviously there'll be, opportunities if the council sees fit for ribbon cutting and community days to celebrate the opening. But right now we're looking at that September 1 date plus or minus, and then there'll be some updates based on how well that subsequent town phase goes from there. But on budget, on schedule, so we're looking good.
And summer staffing, how's that looking for the rec department?
I think there's still some holes to fill in a couple of locations, I think in the parks labor. So if anybody has, a youngster who's looking for, a summer job, please feel free to reach out to Human Resources. I do believe many of the lifeguard positions have been filled. But again, if refer to the Human Resources part of our town website. But there's certainly some areas we could use some help this summer.
Great, thank you. And last night at Conservation, Mr. Havens got a shout out and a kudos from the Conservation Commission for being very helpful in some of the clearing projects, some of the properties, so thank you very much for that. They asked me to pass that on to you, so thank you. Moving on. Public hearing. Item 25-56, Resolution 2025-030. The CDBG authorization for Granite Estates Cooperative Residential Park. Ms. Donna Lane. And guest.
I have to turn anything
Good
on,
evening.
or is it fine? Hello? Good?
The green button on? What was the base?
There are green buttons. I think there's green buttons on. Good evening, Donna Lane, CDBG Consultant. It's been a little while. Michelle?
Michelle Stevens, I'm with Rock New Hampshire team at the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund.
And there's some Granite Estates folks behind us. So as you know, once you open a public hearing, I get to read to you. Apologize for that. So are we open?
No,
They go first, and then we-
you go first, and then we'll open the meeting afterwards.
Okay. Community Development Block Grant funds are available to municipalities through the New Hampshire Community Development Finance Authority. Up to $500,000 annually is
Excuse me
available.
1 second, I'm sorry, my mistake.
Let
This
me
is-
make a
this is
motion to
different.
open public hearing.
Yes, thank you.
I'll
right.
second it.
Motion to open public hearing, and a second on the motion. Counsel Granessi?
Yes.
Counsel Webb?
Yes.
Counsel Spencer?
Yes.
Counsel Chase?
Yes.
Counsel Mojay?
Yes.
Counsel McGuckran?
Sure.
And yes from the chair. Sorry, this is a different format than we normally do, so. Go ahead.
Up to
Thank you.
$500,000 annually is available for economic development projects. Oh, first I need to say that there's informational packets back on the table, okay? They're available for the public. Up to $500,000 for housing projects, up to $500,000 for public facility projects, up to $500,000 in emergency funds, and up to $25,000 per planning study grant. All projects must directly benefit a majority of low and moderate income persons. This is a proposed implementation community development, block grant application to the Community Development Finance Authority for up to $500,000 in community development block grant public facility funds. The town will retain up to $30,000 for administrative labor compliance expenses, and the remainder will be subgranted to Granite Estates Cooperative, a 37-unit manufactured housing park located at the corner of 72 Kendall Pond Road and Pine Tree Terrace, and the corner of Gamache and Spruce Terrace in Derry, towards financing their distribution improvements to their water distribution system. The majority of the households in the park are of low and moderate income. This project conforms with Derry's Housing and Community Development Plan's goal of encourage municipal and private water and wastewater systems that are safe, sanitary, and meet DES regulations. We had applied before, you had approved this before, but they didn't get funding, the DES funding, and they had to have that to get the CDBG. So we're trying again, they're going to reapply for the DES funds real soon. So if you approve it, we'll apply for the CDBG, but you need both for the project to happen, so that's why we're back.
Great. For the public, does anyone have any questions that you'd like to ask? No one?
Seeing none rise online, Mr.
Seeing no
Chair.
one rise online or in person, I will make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, we have a motion
Second?
and a second to close public hearing. Counsel Granessi?
Yes.
Counsel Webb?
Yes.
Counsel Spencer?
Yes.
Counsel Chase?
Yes.
Counsel Mojay?
Yes.
Counsel McGuckran?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Public hearing is now closed.
Looks like I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing on the residential anti-displacement and relocation assistance plan for the Granite Estates Cooperative Project.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second to open public hearing. Counsel Granessi?
Yes.
Counsel Webb?
Yes.
Counsel Spencer?
Yes.
Counsel Chase?
Yes.
Counsel Mojay?
Yes.
Counsel McGuckran?
Yes, sorry.
Chair votes yes. Public
So-
hearing is now open.
The anti-displacement relocation plan is kind of a funny thing, but it's, every time you ask for CDBG funds, you have to adopt this, okay? So even if it's not relevant to our project, we have to adopt it, it's project-specific. This plan outlines measures under the Uniform Relocation Act required for CDBG projects that involve any displacement or relocation of persons or businesses. If the town were to undertake a CDBG project, and that's important, that wording, if it has, we're talking about just a CDBG project, not anything else you do, that involve displacement or relocation, they would follow this plan. The plan outlines the measures they would take to find comparable, suitable housing for persons or businesses displaced or relocated. This project does not anticipate displacement or relocation. This is water distribution. We're not moving anybody out, but it's a requirement.
Okay. Anyone in the public have any questions?
Owen?
Seeing none rise online, Mr. Chair.
Seeing nobody jump to the forefront, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to close public hearing in a second. Counsel Granessi?
Yes.
Counsel Webb?
Yes.
Counsel Spencer?
Yes.
Counsel Chase?
Yes.
Counsel Mojay?
Yes.
Counsel McEckern?
Yes.
The chair votes yes. Public hearing is now closed on this matter. For this submission- So we're going step by step, make sure we do this correctly.
You're good.
Yeah, we formatted the resolution according to what
We gotta read it.
Donna
Okay.
reads, so
Yep.
read the
Can I read
resolution.
the
Can I just make
resolution?
one comment before we read this? There's
Yes.
just a, unless we got a new version, there's just a date change on there. It's dated for
Where
the
are we?
6th. On both, it's dated for the 6th instead of the 3rd, just to, we can fix that on the back end, but
Oh, okay, let me make that, okay.
I got very confused, like, do we have to come in again for the second hearing? But
Thank you.
we're all good.
So it's on the top of page 1, and where else?
Just at the end when it's
At
adopted.
the end
we
where
can
it
fix
says
that after.
adopted?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make that, thank you.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Chairman, seeing no comments, questions from the council, I'd like to read the following resolution into the record. Resolution 2025-030, CDBG authorization for Granite Estates Cooperative Residential Park. Town Council under Agenda Item 2556 on June 3rd, 2025, took the following actions as requested by Granite Estates Cooperative Residential Park. 2 consecutive public hearings were held on the following informational packets were made available to the public. They are out back on the table. Proposed implementation of the Community Development Block Grant application to the Community Development Finance Authority for up to $500,000 in Community Development Block Grant funds. The town will retain up to $25,000 for administrative labor, compliance expenses, and the remainder will be subgranted to Granite Estates Cooperative, a 38-unit manufactured housing park located at the corner of 72 Kendall Pond Road and Pine Tree Terrace, in the corner of Gramash and Spruce Terrace of Derry. Toward financing their water distribution system, the majority of households in the park are of low and moderate income. 2, the residential anti-displacement relocation assistance plan for the proposed Granite Estates Cooperative Water System Upgrades Project. Underneath that subsection 1, Town Council approves the submittal of Granite Estates Residential Cooperative Infrastructure Improvements application and authorize the town administrator to sign, submit the application to any amendments thereto. Upon approval of the CDBG application, authorized the town administrator to execute any documents which may be necessary to effectuate the CDBG contract on behalf of the Granite Estate residents. Cooperative Manufactured Housing Cooperative. 2, the town council adopts and approves the residential anti-displacement relocation assistance plan. 4, Granite Estates Cooperative Water Distribution Improvement Plan, again adopted June 3rd, 2025.
Second.
Excuse me, can I just make 2 corrections to that resolution? It was the one, you said up to 25,000, it's up to 30,000. And it says 38 units, it's 37 units.
Okay, with the corrections as amended,
Sorry.
$30,000. And what'd you say, 36 units?
It's 37, and it's
37?
37, right.
37 units, Madam Clerk.
Still second?
Okay, Mr. Administrator, Town Administrator, you have, is that what you're gonna say, or do you have something else?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion by Counsel McEckern, second by Counsel Spencer. On the motion, Counsel Granessi?
Yes.
Counsel Webb?
Yes.
Counsel Spencer?
Yes.
Counsel Chase?
Yes.
Counsel Mojay?
Yes.
Counsel McEckern?
Yes.
The chair votes yes. Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Dave, the resolution covers the voting part of it, right? Okay.
Thank you.
Do we have the other motion here?
Hate when it's different. All right, new business, 25-62, resolution 2025-033, to withdraw funds from the DPL Capital Reserve Fund for roof repairs at Derry Public Library. The library director, Kathleen Kenny, is presenting. There she is. Good evening.
I'm here to seek approval to fund repairs to 2 areas of the roof of the public library in the amount of $11,500 from the Derry Public Library Capital Reserve Fund. We currently have leaking from 2 areas of the flat roofing on the building. It's caused damage to the interior and exterior of the library building. We have recently done some repairs to the exterior. We had a water-damaged overhang over one of the entrances to the building, and that was recently completed and cost $3,000. In an effort to halt further damage and prevent possible mold, we'd like to repair some of these damaged areas of the roofs. We received 3 quotes for this work, and the Derry Public Library Board of Trustees approved the quote from Master Roofers that detailed repairs to be done on 2 of the 3 flat roofs at the side and back of the building. This quote from Master Roofers was the least expensive of the 3 received, and they provided a detailed account of the necessary repairs. The Library Board of Trustees has determined these repairs are essential to avoid further damage to the interior and exterior of the building. They reviewed the 3 quotes and request the release of funds in the amount of the lowest quote received. We currently have, in the Capital Reserve Fund, we have a balance of approximately $174,000, and we are adequately funded to support this request.
Questions?
Seeing no questions, I'll make a motion, we approve resolution number 2025-033 to withdraw funds from the DPL Capital Reserve Fund for roof repairs at Derry Public Library, whereas Section 5.1 of the Town Charter designates the Town Council as the governing and legislative body of the town, and whereas the roof at the Derry Public Library needs repair, and whereas the Capital Reserve Fund was established in 2004 for the maintenance of the Derry Public Library, and whereas the Library Board of Trustees has requested authorization to utilize a portion of the fund for this purpose, and now therefore be it resolved in council as agents to expend that the sum of $11,487 shall be transferred from the Derry Public Library Capital Reserve Fund to fund this repair. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage, June 3rd, 2025.
Okay, we have a motion by Council Spencer, second by Council McEachern. On the motion, Council Granissi.
Yes.
Council Webb.
Yes.
Council Spencer.
Yes.
Council Chase.
Yes.
Council Mojay.
Yes.
Council McEachern.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes, motion passes 7-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with your repairs.
Thank you.
All right. Item 25-63, Resolution 2025-035, to adopt a fee for marriage ceremony services. Madam Clerk will be presenting.
And taking notes. Very impressive.
Good evening, councilors. Pardon my cold. So here in the town clerk's office, we offer marriage licenses, as we are required to by statute. A couple comes in, they pay $50. We provide them with a marriage license. They then need to have that solemnized by a justice of the peace, an ordained minister, somebody who gets a special license, whatever it is that they want. We only get $50 for that license, and $43 of it gets turned over to the state. So we actually only get $7. It does take about 45 minutes to process the license. By the time the couple comes in, they fill out the paperwork, we verify it with documents, we process the license, and we issue it. Other towns, some clerks will then perform the ceremony, and they will pocket the funds, or they will perform the ceremony and kind of donate the funds to the town. But some other municipalities have turned it into almost a business. The one who's been most successful with it is Manchester. They offer a $300 package, which includes your $50 license, your $15 for your marriage certificate, and $235 for Justice of the Peace services. So they perform the ceremony right there at City Hall. They can do it right at the counter. They can do it in a side room. They can do it outside. And we have a lot of people that come in looking for that kind of service, and it's just not a service that we've been offering. So I spoke to the town administrator about offering it, and I guess I could do like other clerks do and just either pocket the money myself or just kind of charge whatever and kind of donate it to the town. But if we're going to try to do something professional, all of the people in my office would need to be JPs, and we would just need to offer that service all the time. So in order to do that, I need to set a fee, and in order to set a fee, I have to come in front of you. So here I am. I think $300 is a lot of money, and we're not Manchester. Although, just so you guys know, for 2024, they average 850 ceremonies, and they made $235 on each one. Wow. So they did 1,400 licenses total. Now, we do a little closer to 300. We don't do as many. But we we have people that call, well, can you marry us right on the spot? And we say no, and they end up going somewhere else, probably to Manchester. So I'd like to offer this as a service. I'd like to set it at $135, so it would be $200 total if somebody wanted to get the package. I think that's a good place to start. That is where Manchester started back in 2011, and now they're up to $235. Obviously, if we get busier and we're doing more of them, then maybe we can look at those fees. And the average marriage takes about 15 minutes. And we would definitely service our residents. We would service the people coming in. A lot of people that come in to get marriage licenses in Derry are not Derry residents. We have a lot of marriage venues. So they have to pull a license in New Hampshire, even though they probably don't live in New Hampshire. We have a lot of people come up from Massachusetts. And they always order their marriage certificates from us, which is great. And we, $15, and we make 7, and the state gets 8. So this is just another way for us to provide a service and bring some revenue into the town. So that's what this is, and that's what it's all about. And if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Just a quick, so anyone from out of state can come in and use these services, right?
Yep,
So,
anybody who comes into town hall.
So, I mean, it's very straightforward and great idea, Tina. Certainly support it. We don't mention in the resolution the cost. We don't say that we will offer a package for $200.
It should be attached.
It's on the
to
second
what it says,
page.
too.
There's an attachment.
There's, yeah.
Oh, we would do package. Okay, so it says here, I was gonna make sure it doesn't refer to the package. Should we have a line in it that says refers to attachment A?
It says it
It
as
says it.
attached here too, and then now they're.
on the bottom, the second, the last.
Gotcha. Just saw it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Council Spencer.
I just have one, sorry, I thought he was getting all excited to read the resolution, like, wait. You mentioned, I know as a town clerk, you kind of are a justice of the peace regardless, correct? Is that?
No, I actually have a JP.
You haven't, okay, I had looked up, I was looking this up, and apparently that's part of the town clerk thing in New Hampshire too, but you have it separately anyway. You mentioned having everybody in your office would need to be a JP
Yeah,
to
so
do
it's
this.
$75 each, and
what I was
I have money in my budget right now to do that. And we would do that application. So we probably wouldn't start offering this service for somewhere between 8 to 12 weeks, because I want everybody to be able to do it. And my staff's pretty excited about it, because they don't really like turning people away or telling people no, especially when it would be very simple for us to offer the service.
Yeah, $75 sounds very reasonable, and it's real fun to marry people, I've done it before.
And JP lasts for 5 years, so it's not a big investment from the town. And, that's how we do notary. And we bring in quite a bit of income for notary nowadays. So it's just another service we can provide to our residents. And they don't have to use us if they don't want to. They can use their own JP, people they personally know, however they want to do it. That's up to them. But if they want to say their I do's here in Town Hall, they can do so.
Okay. Any other questions? right.
Well, if there are no questions, I'm happy to read a resolution. Resolution 2025-035, to adopt a fee for marriage ceremony services. Whereas Section 7.2 of the Town Charter empowers the Town Council to regulate all fees for the use of the services of the town, and whereas the Town Clerk's Office, per state statute, is required to issue marriage licenses, and whereas the Town Clerk's Office is oftentimes requested to perform this marriage ceremony under the Justice of the Peace designation, and whereas the town should be compensated for the time and the expenses of its staff designations to provide this optional service, now therefore be it resolved in council that the town's schedule of fees is hereby amended to provide marriage ceremony services as attached hereto. Resolution shall take effect immediately upon passage, adoption June 3rd, 2025.
Second.
Okay, motion by Counsel McEachran, second by Counsel Spencer. On the motion, Counsel Granessi.
Yes, I do.
Counsel Webb.
Yes.
Counsel Spencer.
Yes.
Counsel Chase.
Yes.
Counselor Mojay.
I do too.
Counsel McEachran.
I do 3.
Well played.
And the chair votes yes. Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Love is love.
There we
All
go.
right. Council comments, committee reports. Council Spencer.
Thank you. I just have two things. One, just to echo Councilor Ganessi's comments from earlier, Happy Pride Month to everyone out there. And I also just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. We have not one, but 2 Rotary clubs in town, and they came together last week to put on our annual Veterans Dinner. It's one of my, I always say I'm in one of those clubs, but I always say it's not just my favorite Rotary Day of the year, it's one of my favorite days of the year. We had, I believe the number was just over 400 veterans and families in attendance. A great dinner, just a great night all around to honor folks that have served our country, and a quick thank you to Governor Ayotte for coming as well to help us in honoring that group. So it was a great night.
Anyone else?
Mr.
Grassi.
Chairman, thanks. Real quick, tomorrow night, be meeting the Taylor Library, so I'll have an update, the next meeting. And I just wanted to, I know it's not in Derry, but a neighboring town of Wyndham, they do a Pride Festival every year. It's Sunday, June 8th, 12 to 4 at the Wyndham High School. I've been there. I know there's going to be a group from Derry there this year. So if anybody's from Derry watching, they want to go, it's the Wyndham, Sunday, 12 to 4 at the Wyndham High School. So, thank you.
Counsel Webb.
All set, thank you.
All right. The Memorial Day Parade was a great success. The weather was great. It didn't rain. For the ceremony was great. So, yeah, amazing turnout. So it was very well. So, in remembrance to all our departed veterans. And again, the Chutz Truck is this Saturday, 10 to 2, West Running Brook.
Can I just say one more thing on that?
You
I'm
may.
sorry. I meant to make note of this, and you brought up Memorial Day, and I remembered it now. I just wanted to thank everyone that was at the Memorial Day services. As we came in, the Councilor Chase and Councilor Granessi were with me, and we said, wow, this is a great turnout for the parade. And my comment was, yeah, let's see how many people stick around for the actual services part of this. And there was an amazing turnout. It was well double what I've seen in past years, and I just wanted to say thank you for folks actually honoring Memorial Day in the way that that day is meant to be honored.
Yeah, it was
So
pleasant.
thank you.
It was pleasant to see all those people, so it was nice. Okay. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned.